radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
It's 2019, baby.
All the hits. One station.
Bringing you the best mix of the best music.
Nothing but the baddest and best music.
Broadcasting worldwide.
One hit at a time.
Music.
Online.
One station. Hit music. All the hits.
24/7 around the world. Non-stop. This is Crossway.
The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, a musical talk show with in-studio guest performers and interesting program features, anchored by the man with many titles: musician, producer, actor, director, YouTuber, filmmaker. Well, the list is long because he's the man and more. So friends, Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, your Sunday midday fun starts here. Welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown Halloween special. And I've got this spooky music, and we have spooky decorations and severed limbs. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm your host, Scott Dion Brown. And my co-host, Regina Lena, could not be here today because she's actually, at this moment, hosting another pageant. She's actually hosting I believe it's called the Darling Divas pageant. And she's going to have to tell us about that when she gets back. But so we're going to go on without her. And she said she's going to attempt to call in at some point if she can, if she gets a break. But she's very busy. If you guys remember last year, she actually hosted that same pageant. And she had an adorable time. Lots of little kids, lots of little tiny children were there. And it was very fun and everything. So we're gonna move along without her. And we wish you all the best, Regine. Have a good time. And we've got a lot of stuff here. We've got some costumes. We've got candy. We've got decorations. And I've got my morning coffee. Do you have your morning coffee? Did you? Oh, here we go. We got candy, a whole jar full. And we're good. Did you notice? Did you wake up in time for daylight savings time? Did you set your clock back? Because I don't know. A lot of people maybe didn't. I almost forgot. Luckily, my phone set my clock back automatically for me, so I didn't have to worry about missing my alarm. But then when I was getting ready in the kitchen, I look at the stove, and I was like, "Wow, I'm late!" And then like, "Oh wait a minute. I've still got an hour. I'm okay." So I made it here in time, and that was our Halloween spooky music. Anyways, I think we should start the show, and we'll get things rolling. And the way we'll do that first, of course, is by thanking our very important people, our executive producers. Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown was brought to you by our two executive producers. Do you want to find out what your home is really worth? Are you buying or selling a home? Then Jennifer C., Realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see her current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have. And he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Simeka, mortgage agent. He'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And if you would like to advertise on the show, get in touch. Radio show ad, radio show AD at gmail.com, and we'll set you up with a fantastic advertising plan, reading your ads live on the air. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But for now, let's get back to the show. Well, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, John Lennon. If you didn't know who I am, this is who I am. In fact, Ryan, do we have the picture? Okay, let's see. I want you guys to see who I'm supposed to be in case you don't know. Because I think once you see the picture, you'll think it's pretty good. Look at that. How good is that? There you go. Hang on. I'm going to lean. Okay, go. I'm not doing it right. There. I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty good. And it's funny is that this costume, this shirt, I was going to get this shirt on Amazon, but it wouldn't arrive in time. So this is actually marker. Like I actually just cut a t-shirt and drew this on in marker. Which it's not bad. It looks pretty good, right? It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, hang on. I'm having a conversation with myself. Let's meet the guests so that we can bring them in here. So our guests today, we have it's a special theme episode. It's obviously Halloween theme, but it's also a Canada's Top Choice Pageant themed episode. The Canada's Top Choice Pageant happened a little while ago. And we've got our reigning Miss Canada's Top Choice, Dhara.
Hey everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. I hope you all are having an amazing weekend so far.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And our Canada's Top Choice Miss First Runner-Up, Wincci.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. This is my first time to go on a live radio show, and
my gosh.
I'm really glad to be here.
I'm honored. Thank you so much for choosing to join us here today. So, how was your guys' Halloween? Do you guys do Halloween? Are you big on Halloween? Maybe yes, maybe no. What do you think?
It was exciting for me because it's my first Halloween here in Canada. So all these amazing costumes, the culture. I had a beautiful walk on Church Street. It was so fascinating. It was so amazing. So it was great. I had a fun Halloween.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be quite something to see, especially for the first time.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this Halloween is like the weather is too bad, so so I didn't go out. I just spent my Halloween with my cat and trying to dress her up, and then
And how did that go?
it doesn't work. So cats don't like wearing clothes. So.
No. So couldn't get any. What were you trying to dress? Is it a her or he? Your cat?
Yeah, it's a girl,
That's cool.
and I was trying to get the costume like a taco on her, and then okay, that's the right anyways.
And she wasn't a fan of the taco.
Well, she's fan of everything that smells good.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. But she didn't want to be a taco.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be a taco. I gotcha. My brother's dog, we managed to dress him up. We put a shirt on him. And he let us do it. I don't know if he liked it. Like, he was it's funny, after he's putting it on, he's walking funny. Like, you can tell he's not really sure if he can still walk properly, even though he's fine. And so, but I could tell, like, once we took it off, he was like, he was very happy to take it off once we got it off. But the kids liked it when they came to the door and, saw the dog dressed up. So that was nice. But, so your first Halloween ever, right? Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Canada's Top Choice Pageant. So you guys both competed. When was it now? It was a few months ago now?
It was in August.
In August, okay, yeah. So, yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah, that's right. It was much warmer.
Yeah.
In fact, as I recall, inside the theater, I think it was very warm, if I remember that correct. So, what are some of you guys' favorite memories from that night?
Everything about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Every moment was so magical, and also all the fellow contestants were so supportive. There was so much sisterhood happening there, which is so beautiful. That's the beautiful part about pageantry, sisterhood and building each other up and encouraging each other, supporting each other. So every moment on that stage and every moment spent with my fellow Queen sisters was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly my first time to join a pageant, and then it's a very great experience, especially so after the show, a lot of audience, they come up to me because as you guys maybe remember that I did a speech about
That's right, for the talent portion, right? Yeah, you did public speaking.
And lots of people come up to me and say they're so touched by this topic because maybe they have those kind of experience when they're growing up. So I think I did a really great thing as the speech.
Awesome. So that was your first experience in a pageant?
Yeah.
And what about you? Was that yours as well?
First in Canada, but I have already competed for Miss Universe India once before.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Awesome. So Wincci, what made you want to join a pageant? Like, how did you what got you into it?
Actually, I have never ever thought of being in the pageant before. Even I have been in the modeling industry for a few years, and then because like in my mind, I don't think I am a pretty girl, like pretty enough to be competing in the pageant, and then because this year, like I'm turning 27. Unfortunately, and then
Happens to us all.
yeah, that's like a lot of pageant. They're like a cutting off age are around 27, 28 for
Yep.
the Miss category at least. So I'm feeling that if I'm not going to the pageant this year, maybe I won't have chance to like stand on stage as in the Miss category of pageant.
Yeah.
So I just want to try, lose or not, and I don't mind the results. I just want to like leave myself a good memory of okay, when that after 10 years maybe look back and wow, I was shining in the stage when I was 27. That's a good memory.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, yeah. Get it done now, and yeah, be something that you can always look back on doing. And are you happy you did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, I joined a few pageants after Miss Canada's Top Choice too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So it was kind of so that gave you experience that you wanted to continue on and do more.
I'm not sure if I would do it in the future because it's kind of like I'm also a software engineer and also do modeling and do singing, like a lot of stuff. I'm not sure about the schedule, but
Yeah.
I think if I have time, and I would do that again.
Cool. And so you said you competed in India for Miss Universe?
Yes.
What was that like?
That was really fun, really challenging because it was my first time in a pageant, and it was like a really, really big pageant. And it's funny how I actually came into pageantry. I always followed pageants, but I never thought that I'm good enough to be in one. Just like what Wincci said, I thought like, maybe no, I don't know if I'm ready. So Miss Universe India happened by chance when they were scouting for girls. And I was walking in a mall, shopping with my friend, and someone just approached me and said, "We think you're a good fit for Miss Universe India." And I was like,
Wow.
"No way!" They're like, "Yeah, why don't you just try? We'll see what happens. Why don't you just give it a shot?" I was like, "Yeah, there's nothing to lose. I might as well just give it a shot." And I did, and things worked out for me. And
Awesome.
yeah, since then I have been competing into pageants, and it's been so great. It's been a great journey.
Very cool. And this was, and then Canada's Top Choice was your very first one in Canada.
Yes,
you're saying.
yes.
First pageant.
First pageant.
First Halloween. So you just,
Yeah.
you just came to Canada recently then?
8 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you like it?
So far, so good. I haven't experienced the winter yet, so I cannot give a very holistic perspective on that.
Yeah.
But
that's
so
coming.
far, it's good. I'm loving it.
Yeah, the winter is. That's always one of the things I always ask people who recently came to Canada after they've had their first winter. What do they think of it? Because especially if you come from a warmer climate, it can be quite shocking.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
But you get yourself a thick coat, and that's really odd. The trick is to dress for it.
Exactly, yes.
And then you can still enjoy it. Go skiing, go skating.
Yeah,
and
take up winter
Exactly.
sports.
maybe that won't
exactly.
happen in some,
Right.
warmer countries.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I was told actually by my Uber driver, that if you see the negative in the situation, you're gonna end up hating it. So why don't you just dress for it, go out, have fun, because winter is not gonna last forever. So might as well just enjoy it. And I was like, that's a very positive perspective.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with that.
And you'll also find it's also why Canadians love summer. Like they love summer. Like you'll notice now, like as soon as the winter's ending, as soon as it's like a little bit warm, not even really warm enough that you should be going outside, but warm enough, you'll see people will start sitting on patios almost immediately. It's almost like they're trying to force summer to come back. And it's but the reason that Canadians love summer so much is because the winters can be so cold that it really makes us appreciate the warm months when they're here.
And the winter is so long.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's long, it's dark. And I still love winter. I love the winter sports. But yeah, when you get to that point when you can feel it start to warm up. And that's why I know there'll be days where it's like there might even be still some melting snow on the ground. But because it's sunny and kind of warm, somebody will inevitably go outside in shorts. And you'll just see, you'll see it. You'll see them walking around. You'll be like, what? But it's because it's like, hey, the sun's out. It's warm. I'm going to go have a beer outside. Because that's what people do.
Setting the pace, setting the trend. I like that.
Exactly. But yeah, just dress for the winter. I mean, it's funny. I was in Miami a few years ago, and we were like I was there for a festival, and it was in a hotel, and it was freezing. Like in Miami, and I find in a lot of American cities, they really blast the air conditioning in buildings. So it was boiling hot outside because it's Miami, and I go inside and I'm freezing cold. Like I had to bring a jacket and a sweater, right? And I was in there, and there was people that were like, "What are you, cold?" I was like, "Yeah, it's freezing in here." And they're like, "Aren't you Canadian? Don't you like cold?" And I was like, yes, but like the trick is like we don't go outside in like a t-shirt and shorts in the winter. Like we like it, but we dress for it, right? And like I'm here in this hot place, and you guys are making it freezing inside. Anyway, so the point is, dress for the winter, and you'll be very comfortable.
Absolutely.
It's very nice. Get a nice warm coat, a nice toque, a scarf, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Do you do any winter sports, Wincci? Do you like any winter things?
So I think besides the sports, I like. Well, you know what? I have been trying some winter photography.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
when you can. Yeah, I think it's. Well, I'm also from. I'm Cantonese. I'm from somewhere close to Hong Kong, and there's also a place that won't have any snowing in winter.
Yeah.
So when I first come up here, I think, wow, that's the best part when you go to some like a national park or somewhere outside and then do the photography. And then you can just like use a bottle of warm water, and you like, do you know that trick?
Oh yeah, when you throw it in the air.
Yeah, and then wow, that's amazing effect that you won't see in like some Asian countries. Yeah, that's the best part of Canada.
Like that's right. That's right. We're talking to somebody who also came to. So how long ago did you come to Canada? When did you come here?
Not too long. I come here for school. So like, yeah, a couple years ago.
A couple years. Okay, so you've had just what one winter, 2 winters?
5 winters.
Oh, 5 winters. Oh, okay. So how did you? In fact, yeah, we can. How did you find your first winter here? What was it like?
I was so excited when I see the snows, and then also have some friends. They also come from same place as like from China, and then they start to make the snowman, and then like a kid. Maybe people think that we're so weird. Like some like adult, we are making snowmans, but we never did that when we were kids. So yeah,
of course. No, it's fun to get out there and play in the snow. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you liked it. And yeah, you just dress for it, and it's fun. Yeah, the snow's beautiful. I'm glad you brought up the photography because you can really get some really nice, like especially after a fresh falling snow. If you can walk through a neighborhood or where there's trees or in a park or something, it's really, really beautiful. Very, very pretty. Let's do a quick break. We're going to do some ads, and then we're going to come back and we're going to chat some more. Does that sound good to you guys?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, let me get the music going. And did it work? Oh, wait. There we go. No. Hang on, I want to get the ad music playing. What am I doing wrong here? I will use this music then. The conversation we've just been having is brought to you by Jewelry Forever. Convenient. Oh wait, I got the music now. There. The segment we've just been having is brought to you by Jewelry Forever, conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham. And they do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and they change watch batteries, all done on site. Or if you're somebody who doesn't want to go outside because maybe it's freezing cold, maybe it's winter. Winter is coming, everybody. Maybe you don't want to go outside. You know what you can do? You can shop online. Go to jewelryforever.ca where you can get free shipping with any orders of $149 or more. And it was brought to you by the Canada's Top Choice Council, a non-profit organization proud to present amazing events held annually, including, of course, the Canada's Top Choice Pageant, which we are talking about here today because we have 2 candidates, a reigning and first runner-up candidate here today, and they've also got their Give Back fundraising concert, which is coming up in March, And I think tickets are available, or they're going to be available soon, but you can find them. Search Canada's Top Choice on Facebook, and you can get all the information there. It's a fantastic organization putting on great events and producing wonderful candidates who come on your show, and you can interview them. Isn't that amazing? Canada's Top Choice. And once again, if you'd like to advertise on the show, please get in touch at radioshowad@gmail.com. Thank you very much. And we're back with our guest. Actually, I should make one announcement. I meant to make an announcement off the top of the show, but I should make an important one. Today's episode of The Sit Down, today is actually our final episode here on Crosswave Radio. It's been an entire year, and I want to let you guys all know, and Regine wasn't able to be here. We were, because last week was actually going to be our last one, but then there was a technical problems at the with the show, so we couldn't get it going. So this is actually our last episode here on Crosswave. It's been an absolutely wonderful time. I want to give a huge thank you to MCBN and Crosswave. Vaughn, thank you so much for having us. Shout out to Ryan in the booth, who's made this year fantastic, who's been our guy in the booth. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that photo. So that's Ryan. That's the magic of Ryan as our producer. So it's been absolutely wonderful hosting the show here today. But I also would also like to announce as well that yes, it's the show is over here on Crosswave, but we are going to continue to do a show on my YouTube channel. Me and Regine talked about it, and so the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown will continue same time, 11 a.m. Sundays, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. So if you've enjoyed sharing your Sundays with us, 11 a.m. every Sunday this past year, as we've enjoyed sharing our Sundays with you, and you'd like it to continue, we hope you'll come find us at youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. Or if you're liking the Sit Down Radio with Scott Dion Brown on Facebook, we're going to share the link there, and it'll take you to the YouTube channel. So find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. Subscribe. Now's the better time than ever, because if you want to see the show, that is the only place to see it, because today's our final show. I meant to say that off the top of the show, but I kind of forgot. But thank you very much to MCBN and Crosswave for having us. And now let's continue on with the show. Hello, we're back with Wincci and Dhara. One thing I kind of thought might be cool to talk about, or maybe it won't be cool, I'm not sure, while I open a little candy, an Aero bar. Since we're kind of the Halloween thing, have you guys ever had any experiences with ghosts, or seeing anything, or anything like that ever happen to you guys in your lives? I was just curious.
I have, actually.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad I asked. Do you want to share the story, share the experience?
Yes.
What was it
So
like?
back in India, I was going to get my car in the parking lot at 2 a.m.
Okay.
And we were just having fun, me and my friends. And one of my friends, she was shooting a video of us where we were just doing a little dance, having fun. And she got really scared, and she started screaming. And I was like, what is up with you? She stopped the recording and she replayed it on the phone, and we saw something there. It was like a white, smoky kind of a thing that was just going from one place to the other.
Yeah.
And we were so scared. It was 2 a.m. We just ran out of the parking lot, went home, and just slept.
My gosh.
That was really spooky, and I saw it it was right behind me when I was dancing.
Ugh. So it looked like I just so you know, I just put on scary music while you're talking, so it makes it better. But so wait, sorry. So you saw that in the photo after, it looked like smoke or
yeah, like a white smoky thing just moving around. It was so weird, so spooky.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So your friend saw it when she was taking the picture.
Yes.
And you could see nothing in wow.
Yes, I could see nothing.
That's scary.
That is really, really spooky.
Wow. Do you still have the picture?
I don't.
It's okay. It's a haunted photo, so it's better. It's best that you don't have
Exactly. Unfortunately and thankfully, my phone was stolen, so I lost the picture. So.
So now, so the person who stole it, they took the haunted ghost with them.
Maybe.
That's scary.
Yeah.
What about Wincci? Have you ever had a ghost experience? Anything like that?
I think I had, but it's not that scary. And then, there have been a time that because I was studying in U Waterloo, so I sometimes go visit friends in Toronto, and then I go back to Waterloo.
Yeah.
And that night, I was driving back from Toronto to Waterloo, and I was on the way for one, and then there is a section of highway. It's really dark, and then they don't have the lamps on the
Oh, the lines on the road.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
then there are only some reflectors on the shoulder of the road, and then so at the beginning I can see the cars in front of me and the cars behind me,
Yeah.
and then because they have the lights, so I can see the road from the car lights. And I don't know when, gradually I find that I can't see any cars in front of me or any car besides me, and then everywhere are dark. I can't see anything. I trying to open the high beam and trying to see the road clearly, but still I can't see any cars in front of me. That's so weird. Like
Yeah.
few minutes ago, I can still see a lot of cars in front of me, and then
So it's like everything just disappeared.
yeah, it's like everywhere are dark and nothing besides me, and then that's so scary. And then I'm feeling like I am going to another like a space, and then
Creepy.
yeah, it's so like a dark hole, a dark circle.
Yeah.
And then but like the dark seems endless, but I don't know. So I try to turn on the radio, and then to volume up the song so that I won't feel that scary.
Yeah, just to distract you. So, yeah.
And then yeah, that's why we need to listen to the radio show.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this, maybe you're on the other side of the world. Maybe you're in the Philippines listening to this. And if you're on dark, scary road, just turn up the volume and it'll distract you
and
from
then
the dark
and then
road.
after a few seconds, I'm feeling that okay, everything is back to normal. I can see the car, and then I find that why I can see everything at those few minutes is because I was in the uphill road, and then yeah, the cars was going down and you're going up and you can't
Yeah.
see them. So it's
Okay,
just
so it's more of
funny.
an optical illusion. Yeah. That makes sense. Actually, that's the thing. You get outside of the city. Those dark roads when there's no lights.
Yeah.
It really can, because if you turn your lights off, there's nothing. It's completely pitch black when you get out of there, right? No city lights, no. So it can be. So there you go. So you were on a steep hill. So basically you got past the hill, and then everything looked normal again.
Yeah.
But there was a moment there when it was quite scary. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know if this counts. I've never had any ghost experiences, but I did. Well, actually, I did have a ghost experience, but I know it wasn't real. But so basically, when I was in elementary school, we had this. We went to this week-long trip to a place called, what was it called? I think it was called Lake St. George. I might be wrong, but I might be right. I think
Where
it was
is
called.
it?
Honestly, I can't remember. Somewhere outside of the city. Like I remember, our whole class took like a bus there, and we got to stay there at a week. So it was pretty fun. You do crafts, and you go in the woods, and you spend a week, with your friends, and I remember we went in the water and found crayfish and did all this fun stuff. But one of the teachers, one of the last nights we were there, I don't know why he decided to do this. It's not a good idea, but he decided to tell us a story. He decided to tell us a ghost story to all these kids. Now how old are we? I believe I was grade 7, which I'm not sure how old that is, but it's pretty young. Grade 7 might be, let's say it's 12 years old, maybe. I can't remember. You can, whatever. Okay, so young kids, right? So we're all there at this thing, and he wants to tell us a story. And he tells us the story. He goes, hey guys, there's a ghost story I want to tell you guys about. He goes, this camp is located near an insane asylum where they keep criminals. That's what he told everybody. He told the class this. And he said that one day, a few years ago, he says, somebody escaped, an inmate escaped from the asylum, and he said that a girl got kidnapped, and he basically said that the guy caught her and chopped her up. Oh, scared me. And they were like the guy caught her and chopped her up and left her body in the woods, and now she still wanders around in the woods. He tells this to all of us, the whole class, right? And he's like, and now you can still see her, you can still hear her voice in the trees. And he's telling this to this class of kids, and everybody like freaked out. So like everybody believes it's real. Everybody, the girls start crying. Nobody wants to go to bed, so it's like it's getting late. It's bedtime. Everybody has to like go to their dorms because we all have individual rooms. Nobody wants to go to bed. Everybody's crying. He basically created this whole panic among the entire class because of this like ghost story. And at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's real. I don't want to go to the bedroom. I don't want to go. So anyway, it's not a real ghost story, but I don't know why. Looking back, I think it's hilarious. But
so funny.
at the time, I'm like, I don't know if that was the best thing to do. You probably should have told that story.
Everyone believing it then.
Yeah, at the time, because we're all so small, right? We all believe. And the thing is, he didn't even tell it with like a scary voice. Like he wasn't saying it like it was a story. He told it in a way that it was like, oh yeah, so there used to be this thing, this insane asylum over there, and he told it as if it's a true story. And so anyway, it was very scary. So I guess that was my ghost experience. Doesn't really count. Although, it's pretty funny. Anyways, Halloween. There you go. Good stuff on Halloween. Wincci, you wore a costume. You wore a costume, right?
And then what? Lots of people ask me if I'm wearing a wig. Actually, I got my haircut. This is real hair.
And what is your costume? Just so people can people see it?
It's a navy suit.
Yeah.
Like.
Kind of looks like with the
school uniform.
Yeah. Well, I know it from like Sailor Moon. I know Sailor Moon. Do you know?
Yeah. That's
because she wears a school uniform too, right? Yeah. Cool.
So you watched that cartoon when you were young?
I've seen some episodes. Yeah, I like Sailor Moon's pretty cool.
That's kind of a girly cartoon.
It's a little bit. Did you watch it as well?
You're supposed to watch Gundam.
That's true. Yeah. Actually, I never watched Gundam. That's one I should watch. Actually, one year, for Halloween, I was tuxedo mask for Halloween. 1 year. Yeah. It was a few years ago. In fact, my band Symphony of Nine, we were playing. We had a gig in a bar, and it was a Halloween night show. So we played like scary songs, and we all dressed up. And I was tuxedo mask. So I had the whole tuxedo and the mask, and I think I had the red rose too. I'm pretty sure, because tuxedo mask always had a rose. And yes, that was a few years back.
Yeah, I think we Asian kids are growing up with watching the Japanese cartoons much.
Yeah. They're they're very popular. Yeah. And actually, I've been watching some lately as well. I've been watching.
Are you still watching?
Yeah. Although, because you remember, there are some that are more for like an older audience, right? Like Death Note. You ever heard of Death Note?
I heard about it.
Yeah. In fact, I think Netflix just did a movie about it, which is not as good as the anime. But there's an anime called Death Note on Netflix that I watched, and it was pretty cool. I liked it. And,
I feel like lots of Canadians, they love animes. Yeah. And
yeah, it's quite popular. I'm becoming a fan. In fact, actually, I think
you do cosplay and then.
I've been thinking about it. I've been wondering because actually, was it 2000? I think 2018. I went to a big convention called Dragon Con, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S. And it's the biggest like science fiction fantasy convention, I think, in North America. And I was there for my film was screening, so I went down there for the festival there. Wow. But there were so many cosplayers there, and the costumes there were like, these costumes look nice enough that they could be in a movie. You know what I mean? Like they look that good. Like they look like people spend like the whole year preparing these costumes. And I remember I saw that and I was like, this is cool. I kind of want to do this. So I might. Maybe I'll be Sailor Moon. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Do you guys want some candy? Did you guys get some candy?
We got candies.
Okay, good.
Candies, a lot of them.
In fact, actually, what kind of? So you only came to Canada recently, 8 months ago, right?
Yeah.
So and they don't have Halloween there, right? They don't do Halloween.
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, no.
But you have like candies and stuff there, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's not like the candy here. It's different.
It's different, yeah. Like we have the same Kit Kat, but it tastes different. It
Oh,
tastes
really?
very Indian for some reason, yeah.
Huh.
I like Canadian chocolates more.
Okay, so the Indian candies, they are tasting some different like style.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Interesting.
different. It's the same candy, but it tastes different.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are the flavors like?
The flavor is the same, honestly. It's just the same. It's just the taste is so different.
Oh wow, I want to try.
So it says so it's Kit Kat, but there's something about it that's different. So then maybe
Yeah.
there's a different type of, maybe different recipe for the chocolate and stuff. That's interesting.
Maybe, yeah. It doesn't have spices, so that's good. Otherwise, maybe, Indian chocolate, spices.
Oh yeah. Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, there's a. So what would be? I mean, I guess I probably won't recognize it. But what would be your favorite candy when you were a kid or now or whatever? From India or yeah.
Honestly, I haven't been a big candy or chocolate fan.
Oh, okay. Regine, our co-host, she's not a chocolate person either. Actually,
Oh,
she doesn't like
awesome.
chocolate.
Yes, I've got company.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people just give me these judgmental stares like, how don't you like chocolates? Like, it's everyone's favorite. Yeah, but my favorite one was Munch.
Munch.
So it was like this little thin chocolate, like wafer biscuit. It was
Okay.
covered in chocolate.
Okay.
So I like the crunch and less chocolate, more biscuit. So that was really good. Yeah, that was my favorite candy.
So it's a wafer and then it's a thin coat of chocolate around
yes,
it called
yes,
Munch.
Munch.
And I've never seen that here, I don't think.
No, I don't think we have it here in Canada.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Wincci? Do you have a favorite candy from either back home?
Yeah,
or
I
here?
think. Well, when I was a kid, I like Kinder. They have like a kind of eggs.
Okay.
And then they have the toys
Oh,
inside.
yeah, Kinder
I love
Surprise.
that.
Okay, we have that here. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like a bag, and then you know what will be inside, and then you just choose one and you go back home and see what's inside. Sometimes I don't like the toys inside, and then I would maybe buy another one.
Yeah, because you never know what you're going to get with those. I know. Yeah, I used to love those as a kid. We were talking about them actually. Was it last week or no? A couple shows ago, we were talking about Kinder Surprise. Because actually, one thing I found is I had one recently. I used to like it a lot more when I was a kid, but I tried it recently, and I found I didn't like the chocolate as much. Like I think the chocolate in other bars is better. I don't know if they've changed the recipe or maybe my taste buds have changed. But I used to love it when I was young for the toys. Like I used to, open it up, and then I remember I'd have like a few of them on my desk at school, and I'd set up all the little toys on my desk.
Oh.
But that's the thing. But sometimes the toys were cool. Like it was a little like car or something with moving parts.
Oh, I got too many cars. I don't want toys anymore.
Yeah. But it's like, sometimes I'd like it, but sometimes it'd be something so weird, or you're like, I don't even know what this is, and like it was really hit or miss with the quality of the toys, But I guess they were smart to put a toy in the candy because it made kids want to buy more of them because it worked for me, worked for you too, I guess.
Yeah, marketing.
Yeah, marketing, exactly. Genius.
Yeah, and they still have them. Actually, apparently, Kinder Surprise is banned in the U.S. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think. In fact, I don't actually know the exact reason, but I believe it's because of like the choking hazard for kids.
Okay.
But I don't understand. I mean, because when you open the egg, inside the egg, the toy is in like a plastic container. So like you can't choke on that. Like the container's like is almost as big as the egg.
Right.
But sometimes they contain small elements, and then maybe it's dangerous.
I guess I don't know. Maybe I should look up exactly why as I unwrap my Kit Kat. I should know exactly why. Yeah, I don't know why it is. What's my favorite candy? I don't know. I really like Aero bars. I don't know if you've had Aero before. It's like milk chocolate, but there's like bubbles inside.
Oh.
It's like it's very light tasting. I like Aero. I love caramel. I like caramel candies. So. I don't know if those are my favorite. I'm gonna have to think about it. I don't know. I don't have a lot of favorite things. I find like I don't really have a favorite movie. I don't have a favorite song. I don't know. I guess my opinions just change all the time. What about you guys? Do you have a favorite movie?
Not really. I think I have the same problem. Like, I cannot pick and choose one out of so many. Like, I can like more than one, Yeah.
Like, what about you? Favorite movie, maybe?
Well, but sometimes, for some like security questions, they will ask you what's your favorite movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That's a
I was
problem.
think about it, and then that's the problem. Maybe at that period of time, I like maybe Titanic, and then I would okay, the answer for my question should be Titanic. But after a few years, I forgot my password, and the movie changed. I don't remember what movie I put it in.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's right. If you reveal, right. Yeah, if you for like an email account or something, right, and you want to log in case you forget your password, they give you like security questions. So that could be one of your answers. Okay, never mind. We'll move on. Yeah, that's true. That's funny. I could write in like, if I made the account 20 years ago, it could be like, oh yeah, my favorite movie. I love Ninja Turtles. And then like 20 years later, it's like, what's your favorite movie? I don't know. What was my favorite movie 20 years ago? Yeah, that's a good point. Think about that. That's funny. That's very funny. When I was young, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. Have you guys seen the movie Back to the Future?
No.
Starring Michael J. Fox. Anyway, that was my favorite movie when I was a kid. Apparently, I used to watch it every day. Like, I would come home from school and just watch it. And I used to know all the lines. I can't do it anymore, but apparently my mom said that I would watch the movie and, like, say the lines along with the movie. So, like, I'm basically just reciting the whole movie with the movie as I'm watching it. So that was my favorite, but I don't really do that as much anymore. So I guess also not as much time. But let's take one final break, and then we'll have our final segment here on our Halloween special for the sit down with Scott Dion Brown. The segment about ghost stories that you've been listening to was brought to you by Intercontinental Consulting Services for Immigration and Settlement in Canada. Find out how you can live, work, and study in Canada. Visit icscanadaimmigration.ca. Come to Canada. Immigrate, work, study. Visit. Contact them today for a free assessment. And it was brought to you by Cecile's Line Dance Class. Established in 1998, fantastic supporters of the show, really, really great performers. They perform all around the city under the name The Dynamic Divas. And they are very dynamic divas. And if you want to be part of that, get fit, have fun, dance away, and learn some sweet dance moves, get in touch. They have classes 3 times a week. Every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Beam TV, 361 Wilson Avenue, Toronto. Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30 at JC's Banquet, 1686 Ellesmere Road, Scarborough. And every Sunday from 2:30 to 4:30 at the Filipino Center, 4395 Shepherd Avenue East. Call 647-215-3013. Cecile's Line Dance Class. Line dancing with a twist. I'm not sure what that was. That was a little dance for you guys. And I promise you the Cecile's Line Dance Class dances you do will be much better than what I just did. I don't even know what that was. But once again, get in touch if you want to advertise on the show. Radio show ad, radioshowad@gmail.com. And again, if you are going to be advertising, like I said, this is our final show here on Crosswave. So you would be advertising on our new show starting on YouTube next week. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown. Radio show ad at radioshowad@gmail.com. And we are back. As the music fades back into the new... Did I do it right? Oh, there we go. There it is. So we've just got a few minutes. Well, actually, no, we've got about 10 minutes left, right? Because we started a little bit late today. I was worried that we were gonna I was worried when you guys weren't here yet that maybe you forgot it was daylight savings time. but it worked out. Everybody got here on time. Everything worked out. But actually, did you hear they're planning to I know in British Columbia they're actually planning to get rid of daylight savings time. They're going to keep it the same time all year round.
Yes, I read about it recently.
Yeah. In fact, I think they said they're gonna stay on daylight savings time. Like, so they're gonna and they're just always gonna be there. And I know people are talking about whether we should do the same thing here. What do you guys think of daylight savings time?
For me, it's a very new concept. I've never heard of anything like that.
So they don't have that in
India?
So in India, it's the same time.
Same time, all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very fascinating when I witnessed the daylight savings time here in March and then now today.
Yeah.
So I studied a little bit about it, and honestly, if you ask me, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's totally okay to just get rid of it.
Yeah. I think I tend to agree. What about you, Wincci? What do you think of daylight savings time? Do they have it where you came from, or no?
No. And then, well, so I don't think that makes a lot of difference because comparing to your whole life, you won't be like, oh, because of that, I have like 1 hour of life that I can live longer.
Yeah.
I don't think, so, wow, it doesn't make much
Yeah.
difference
There
to
you go.
me.
Right.
Well, we have two people, ladies and gentlemen, listening. Everybody listening. We have two people here who lived most of their lives never having it. So I think it'll probably be okay. Well, because I think I think the reason we have it here, it was originally for to make it for farmers, because they need more sunlight, so they adjust the clocks. But the thing is, apparently even the farmers are saying, we don't need daylight savings time. We just get up earlier. They just get up for the sun.
Same thing.
Right.
And the other thing is, they always say apparently every single year when there's daylight savings, that day there's always more car accidents every time because everybody's thrown off a little bit, right? So, yeah, it's like in March, right? You've lost an hour of sleep, so everybody's usually a little bit more tired. And then I think I'm not sure if it's the same situation when it goes forward, but it probably is just because everything's just slightly off. So you have some people who are, if you imagine the entire country has all been shifted back 1 hour, so everybody's 1 hour more tired. It's just, it results in an increase in car accidents. Right. So when I hear that, I'm like, that enough is a reason to just do away with it. Mm-hmm. However, one thing I will say though, last night, I actually was at my baseball team party. I play baseball like in a league in the summers, and we had a party at one of our friends' houses last night. And so I got home pretty late, and I knew I had to get up early for today for the show. And when I got home late, and I was looking at my clock, and I'm like, oh wait, I get an extra hour. That was satisfying, but I still don't think that's enough of a reason to keep it. If they announced to get rid of it, I think it's probably the right thing to do. And then the debate is whether or not, because like I told you, BC, they plan to keep it always in daylight savings time. And then the question in Ontario is, should we do that or just keep it the actual time and keep that way forever? I don't know. Who even knows? Well, with our last few minutes, why don't we talk about the Canada's Top Choice pageant a little bit more? Mm-hmm. So no, yeah, your talent portion, you did a speech
yes.
Which was very, you talked about, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it was about talking about my past experience of being bullied, and then I want to do advocate for anti-bullying. Mm-hmm. And still recently, we heard lots of news that, I heard the news that a newcomer, I think it's an Indian kid. Mm-hmm. He committed suicide because he just moved to Canada for a year, but he's being bullied. I'm not sure if racist or something. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a lot of that's a problem that lots of newcomers they need to experience. And you need to get into a new environment. You need to custom yourself to the environment, and maybe. In this period of time, they got bullied, and then unfortunately, that kid committed suicide. So I still think this is very important in Canada.
Sure, absolutely.
To prevent the bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
yeah, it was a very strong message when you gave your speech. I think it was like the whole audience was very they all quieted down and they really listened to everything you said. It was I think it was good, and you're right. I think it's an important thing to be talking about. Absolutely. For your talent, what would you do for yours?
I belly danced.
Oh yeah,
with the fan whales.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
I was the MC at the event, but it was a few months ago now, so it's a bit hazy. So how long have you been belly dancing for?
11 years now.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Cool. That's
my belly dancing journey has taken me to different places, and I'm so grateful. I always tell people that I didn't choose belly dance; it chose me. It's like a moving meditation, and it's just so beautiful. And it has brought in a lot of opportunities in my life. So yeah, and I thought that Canada's Top Choice was like an amazing stage to display that and what belly dance means to me as an artist. So
awesome.
Yeah,
and it paid off. You ended up taking home the crown.
Yes.
And
yes.
And Wincci, you finished first runner-up, so it was very close. I never saw the scoring, but I know it was a fun pageant, and it was very, very close, and it was a very strong group of candidates. So
yeah, but the result is not important. We make friends of each other.
Exactly.
And
Yep, that's true. I mean, that's one thing I've really liked is like funnily enough, I've been involved with pageants now for quite a few years as MCs for different pageants. Canada's Top Choice specifically, I think from the beginning, and or was I in there the second year? I'm gonna have to check. Anyway, quite a few years. The thing I really noticed about the Canada's Top Choice pageant though was it's so welcoming, and and that's true. It really does encourage that camaraderie and the sisterhood that you guys talk about. And it was really cool to see. I mean, it's why I've said this probably several times on this show already, but just how that kind of negative idea of pageantry, of that competition, the competitiveness, and the sort of the angry way that people talk to each other, that doesn't really exist in this pageant. And honestly, I've never really seen it in any of the pageants I've hosted. I don't know if it changes in others, but like this one, I find you really do become friends and you kind of work together, right?
Yeah.
And it's just it's a good experience. In fact, we should plug the Canada. Do you know when the next pageant is? It's not till. Is it next year sometime? Is it?
I think it's in August 2020 now.
August 2020.
Yes.
So there you go. So if you want to be a part of a pageant, if it's something that you thought about wanting to do, the way Wincci was saying, this was something that I wanted to do, and she managed to do the Canada's Top Choice pageant. It's a great pageant to try out. Look up Canada's Top Choice on Facebook and get in touch because they are looking for candidates, and it's just a fun experience. We accept people of all types, all sizes, all shapes, all ethnicities, and it's just a wonderful time. It's a lot of fun, and you guys had a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And there's a talent portion, and then there's a Q&A as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you guys find the Q&A portion?
For me, Q&A is always very challenging.
Yeah.
Because walk and everything is fine, but based on Q&A, you're judged for your intellect and how you think and how you're presenting yourself, your talking skills, everything. So that was a challenging bit, but I feel like I surprisingly did really well in Q&A, better than I expected.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nerve-wracking thing, right? Because that's the thing. It's totally different from anything else that you do in the pageant. Because you said most of it is you're more worried about your sort of physical stuff.
Right.
You don't want to fall down. You're making sure your steps are right and all that stuff.
Right.
And then suddenly now it's like now you got to look inside and present something. Now, Wincci, in your case though, I guess your talent portion was kind of similar to the Q&A in that you were speaking.
Yeah.
So how did you find the Q&A?
I don't really remember what did I say, but I just remember you are the one asking me question, and then you're trying to slow down when you are speaking out the question to make us have more time to think about it. Actually, I'm really nervous because you don't really know what we'll ask, and then we'll and then. But you help a lot. Thank you so much.
We tried to. Regina and I both. We tried to. I can't remember. Did we read the question twice? I can't remember now. We either read the question twice or we read it nice and slow.
Remember, you do it really slow.
Yeah, I try to when I do the Q&A, I try to make it very serious. And also before the Q&A starts, I always say to the audience, "Hey guys, look, this is much harder than it looks. I know it's just a question and it's one answer, but we want it to be completely silent so that our candidates can have time to come up with the answer." And then what I try to do is I try to read the answer clearly, slowly, and then I just look straight out and I try not to I don't want to throw you guys off in any way, so I don't really try to look into your eyes or make a face or anything. I kind of just try to stand there and let you guys, make it, because I know it is. I mean, it's an amazing thing where here you guys are right now. We're live on the air right now, but it's just three people. We're just talking, right? But it's suddenly a very different dynamic if suddenly there's 300 people, sitting right here watching us. Right. I mean, there are people watching at home, but it's not the same when they're in the room with you. Right. Standing in front of an audience can be a nerve-wracking thing. So was that your first time? Had you been on a big stage before for something else before? Because I know this was your first pageant.
I did, because I am an accordion player, so I sometimes play accordions. I did a lot of performance, like dancing or something.
Very cool.
And for pageant, it's still hard because every section you will be marked and scored, and then that's how you get nervous.
Yep. Right. Yeah, it's different. So you'd been in front of an audience before, so it kind of prepared you a little bit, I guess. And then you've been on other pageants in India, right?
Right. Yes.
So you were kind of ready for the audience?
Stage and then more.
I guess it depends on the pageant, right?
Depends on the pageant. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Was there so when you went for Miss Universe, was it a big place where you had to compete?
That was, yes. That was huge.
Big crowd?
Yes, big crowd.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool. I know Regina competed in Miss Universe Canada a few years ago.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Would you go to pageants?
Well, I actually did. I actually did compete in one pageant once.
Wow.
Yeah. It was it's funny. It was a Mr. Philippines pageant. It was put on by PIDC, and I think I've told the story on the air, but it's fine. But it's it was literally just my mom was at work, and one of her friends mentioned it to her. Hey, there's this PIDC pageant coming up. They're looking for Mr. candidates, right? Would your son want to compete? And my mom was like, I'll ask him, right? So she asked me, Scott, do you want to be in the Mr. Philippines pageant? I go, sure. I don't really know. I guess I just thought, sure, it's a thing to do. It'll be interesting. I've never done it before. New experience. And so I did compete, and I did win. I ended up winning. I was Mr. Philippines PIDC for a while. But in fact, actually, I should say, I'm still Mr. Philippines PIDC because the following year, they didn't have that pageant again. So they still had Miss and they had Mrs., but they didn't have Mr. So they never crowned another one, so I'm still reigning forever. Yay. Mr. Philippines. Yeah, it's very important. But the thing that's funny looking back is it's like, because being in that pageant, PIDC often has their previous winners back following year, same with any pageant, to be involved with the pageant, right? So the following year they asked me if I would host. Actually, no, the next year they didn't have me host yet. They had me, the second year they had me back, even though they didn't have another Mr., they still wanted Mr. Philippines there to escort the new Miss. So they had me basically carry my reign for another year. And then the following year after that, they were like, hey, do you want to try hosting? And I remember it was after that pageant, I started hosting pretty much. I've hosted now the Miss Philippines pageant PIDC every year, pretty much since then. And then through that's how I ended up hosting Canada's Top Choice. And that's why I ended up hosting other events. And also it's kind of how I ended up here in this chair on the show. So looking back, that choice to be in that Mr. Philippines pageant way back then kind of brought me to where I am today. It's so weird to think about. And it's like I met Regine through the pageants as well. So weirdly, the pageant world, I guess that's the other thing. You never know. I mean, even you guys sitting here, it's like you never know. What will this Canada's Top Choice pageant end up doing for you guys later? You never know. You meet lots of people. You meet interesting people. So, picking something. Oh. So, anyways, we're just running. We're setting. Or is it going to be? Oh, okay. We're setting something up for I guess our final segment here on the show. I think he's In fact, here, Ryan, wave to the camera because this is our final episode on Crosswave. Oh wait, it's not on. Okay, Ryan sneaked into the booth. You probably didn't see him because he was very, very quick and sneaky. But I think we're setting something up, which is cool. But shout out to Ryan, everybody, who was an amazing producer for this past year. And so we're gonna today would have been a one year entire on the show, but just because last year we didn't have it. Last week we didn't have an episode, so we push it back. But it's pretty amazing to think it's been 50. I think this is episode 52. This is 52 episodes we've had on the air. So it's been pretty fun. So if you want this journey to continue, join us at youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown next week. And I'm not sure what just happened. Ryan was setting something up, and we'll see. I think he was planning something. I don't know. Oh wait, let's see. I'm not sure, but do you guys have any social media stuff you'd like to plug? Any stuff? Where can people find you guys?
So you can follow me on Instagram.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what you said. Okay, hang on.
What are you doing with them?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my goodness. It's the one. It's the only.
Halloween, everyone. It's Regina Lena.
Hi. Oh wait. Put on your headphones. Actually, sorry. The two of them aren't wearing headphones, so they can't hear you right now. But
okay.
There we go. Okay, they're talking now. Can you guys hear Regine?
Yeah.
Good morning or afternoon. I'm here with our Junior Miss Galaxy North America.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you guys? How's the pageant going? You're hosting the Darling Divas pageant, right?
It's really good. We actually also have our Mrs. Galaxy Canada, but she's a little distracted with her crown.
My gosh, you guys are all busy over there. So you guys are hosting, and how are things going? Lots of. Is it as cute as last year?
Always.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you got to call in. So I made the announcement to everybody that this was our final episode here on Crosswave, and
Oh, Yes. Well, it's been a great year on CGN and Crosswave. But we do thank all of our viewers. Did you say anything else to them, Scott?
I did. I told them they can join us next week.
Perfect. Yeah, so make sure you guys tune in every Sunday still at 11 a.m. on youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown.
That's right. And Regina, I'm glad you got to call in because I know you're very, very busy, so you couldn't make it today. But I'm glad you were able to at least make an appearance on the phone here on our final episode because it was very important. It's been a very fun journey together.
It has been. And Scott, what the heck are you wearing?
I'm John Lennon. I think actually it's a pretty good costume. The hair, John Lennon's hair is a little bit more wavy, but I think I hit it out of the park. Otherwise, like this is like if you saw this in person, people would be like, "Hey."
We saw it, and Alexis and I kind of looked at each other like, "What?"
You were like, "Wow, he looks great," right? Is that what you said?
No, not wow. He looked great. It was wow. What is he wearing?
And like, what is he wearing? He looks great. That's what you were thinking, I think.
Sure.
Hello.
Whatever makes you sleep better at night.
I'm John Lennon. Thank you all for tuning in.
Oh boy. Well, but it was nice taking part in our last episode there on Crosswave.
Yes.
And hello, ladies from Canada's Top Choice.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we've been talking about lots of stuff. We talked about candy. We talked about ghost stories.
Oh, I'm kind of glad I'm not there then. I'm not big on ghosts.
Oh, too spooky. Well, we'll have to find out. Well, maybe I'll ask you in a future episode about if you've had any scary ghost experiences.
Okay, sounds good. Well, this little girl has just brought, Savannah just brought a little snack bar over, so that's my cue that I gotta get off. But
Oh, wonderful.
I'll let you guys finish the show.
All right, have a great time hosting the Darling Divas pageant, and I'll see you next week.
The Sweet Darling Divas.
Sweet Darling Divas. There it is. I knew I was missing a word.
Yes.
All right.
But it's okay. Alrighty, well, you guys have a great last show, and I will see you guys next week.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. There you go. That was nice. Regina got to call in. That's good. Do you guys? So you were in the middle of plugging your social media.
Yes. So follow me on Instagram. My handle is Dhara, DHARA.THAVER. And you can also add me on Facebook. My name is Dhara Thaver, the same spelling like Instagram.
Perfect. Wincci?
You can also find me on Instagram. My handle is Wincci.yszhou. It's WINCCI.YS.ZHOU.
There you go. And you can find me at Scott Dion Brown. SCOTTDIONBROWN. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But your best place is YouTube, especially if you are a fan of this show and you want to continue to see it. There's only one place now, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. Come find us there. It's going to be fun. And it's been a wonderful time. Well, guys, I think we've reached the end of our show. And it's been fun. Did you guys have a good time?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us here, Scott.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys
so
had a good time.
much.
Thank you. And make sure you look up Canada's Top Choice on Facebook. And if you're interested in competing in the pageant, or competing in a pageant, Canada's Top Choice is a fantastic one to do. It should be your top choice. That was clever. Okay, anyway. Now I have chocolate on my hands. I have to use the mouse. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap things up. And I'll wrap things up with some scary music. Because, you know what? It's a good way to get out of here. And it's Halloween. There we go. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for supporting the show here for this past year. Once again, thank you so much, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, the producer, making things run very, very smooth this past year. It's been an absolutely wonderful time. Vaughn at MCBN, thank you for hosting us here. We've loved this journey. And thank you very much. And like I said, if you guys would like to continue on this journey wherever we end up and wherever we're going to go, it's going to be youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown next week. And also, actually, Jewelry Forever, one of our advertisers, to celebrate 1 year on the move to YouTube, they're doing a giveaway. So if you want to get in on that giveaway, you have to tune in next week. So tune in at youtube.com/ScottDionBrown to find out how you can win a watch from jewelryforever.ca. And thank you all very much. On behalf of Regine and I, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you had fun. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And we'll see you guys next time. This is John Lennon signing off. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today, folks. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. If you think 60 minutes is not enough, well, you better catch us again next week, because it is not just about music or pure talk. It's your weekend pastime. And witness the next worthy of your time episode of the program right here on Crosswave Radio. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.